I feel like whenever I cook over the fire, it's the most like engaging moment for me. My name is Brian Lee. I'm an outdoor chef currently based out of Los Angeles, but always willing to travel. I grew up in a town called Ranch Cucamonga, but my culinary adventure didn't really start until I actually did move into LA. My introduction to the farm to table movement was through this restaurant called Justa. The chef there really kind of set the tone to make sure he was sourcing from the right places. So at the end of the day, they'd basically let all their employees kind of go home with whatever food that they had leftovers. I started inviting my friends over for dinner parties. At the time, I was just graduating college and kind of trying to figure out my path, but I quickly noticed that every time that I had a dinner party, I'd go around the room and then try to hear my friends attempt to talk about things that were outside of their particular bubble. So it was really interesting to see what food really did to our community. That really just made me fall in love with it. So then I realized that I wanted to cook. I took to inspiration some of the chefs that I was working for who were self-taught and just kind of went with that home-style kitchen. I continued with these dinner parties and then just try to find a little niche. There's a clothing company that my friends run, and they go on these marketing trips where they take an RV out to Montana or Wyoming. I was like, hey, I want to cook for you guys. Just give me just an initial budget for food and I'll make sure that you guys are all fed. Yeah, just fully fell in love with coming up with the idea of a meal, planning and trying to figure out how to even bring these ingredients out to the wild. So easy to execute some of these dishes in the kitchen, but are we gonna have enough rocks to pile up to raise the grate, or are we gonna have enough wood in the area to even burn? Are we even allowed to burn the wood that's down there? The complexities of being able to serve food out in the wild really also hooked me. So I was doing that a ton, and then soon enough, I actually found out about this company called Wilderness Collective, who I currently run the food program for. It's man, I need this job. Basically, the rundown is that we do tours from Los Angeles through Zion, Yosemite, Baja, Mexico, Death Valley. My first season with them, I was just going on the trips as a freelance chef and cooking, and for 4 days, 3 nights on, a 3-burner stove, and a plancha took up 2 of the burners. So that's kind of your kitchen table, so you got to get pretty creative on space and how you fire things. Cooking with fire, it's been really amazing because it was super trial and error. When you start the fire, you obviously have flames from the wood or the charcoal, and that's kind of your opportunity to get your cast irons to that temp, because it'll hold the temperature as long as it's by a ambient heat. And then as soon as the fire kind of dies down and now you got a bed of coals, you can start cooking off your proteins and things like that. I definitely think that when sourcing ingredients, it's really important for me to take in mind what grows locally. With every meal comes a story. When you take the extra step and really make sure that you're doing the right thing as far as for just so many reasons, either sustainably or just even to support local farmers, it makes a clear difference in the taste. The most important thing is to incorporate as much community as I can. I've read a few books recently that kind of talk about seasonality and other ways to preserve the flavors of each season, and that's of course to take that aspect as opposed to taking shortcuts. And I think thinking outside the box is, if you can't source this one ingredient out of 5 that goes into one dish, then what are some cool ways that you can sub that thing out, or try to find something to substitute that other ingredient. And also, if you take the time to preserve these flavors, whenever you're in a pinch or you really want to make sure that flavor profile is incorporated into that dish, I mean, you put in the work, so now you can harvest that. You can go in your kitchen cabinet and just pull out your jar of preserved lemons, and you're thank goodness I did this 2 months ago. If I go through the extra work to make sure that I can prepare some food that people are willing to almost sit down and take the time to enjoy, then that really excites me. I mean, I definitely love like the aspect that whenever you cook a meal, it's like the best reason to bring people together.